Hey there, guys, and happy Tuesday. I'm delighted you're able to join me this evening again. It felt like I've been gone forever. I want to say thank you again to all of the guests, viewers, and supporters, because without you, there would be no Indie Spotlight Philly. I'm your host, Shay Renee, and I want you to go to my link inside of my Instagram bio to like, share, review, comment, and subscribe to my new YouTube channel entitled The Indie Spotlight Philly. It has all of the past and present episodes of the Indie Spotlight and the Indie Spotlight. I'm at the Indie Spotlight and the Indie Spotlight Special Edition. So go and check out the link in my bio, like, share, comment, and review and subscribe to my YouTube channel, The Indie Spotlight Philly. Also, in that same link in my Instagram bio, you can check out my podcast entitled The Indie Spotlight Philly. I uploaded the first season of the Indie Spotlight and the Indie Spotlight Special Edition. It's 20 episodes. I've been very, very busy. So I'm going to try to upload season 2, the next 20 episodes, in its entirety by the end of this month. Or maybe by the end of this month, beginning of next month. But tonight's episode of the Indie Spotlight Special Edition Tuesdays, happening right here on Instagram Live at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, is a stellar one. We have model, photographer, and business owner Steve, also known as the Fashion Admin. When Steve comes into the room, I will invite him to the camera and we will start the interview. Hello, everyone. Thank you. I'm trying to wave to everybody. Also, I wanted to say, please keep your comments at a minimum, but please keep your comments at a minimum so we don't distract the guests during the interview, but ask all the questions you want in the comments below. I think it's right in the right hand corner. Hello. So, okay. I hope I said hello to everyone. It was really, I'm stationed where I live in Philadelphia, PA, born and raised, but it was a really bad thunderstorm earlier. But it's clearing up well now. Just waiting for our guests to come into the room and then we'll start. So if there's any difficulties, I will. Oh, hey there. How you doing, Steve?
Hey,
Hey,
hey, how are you?
how are you?
I'm
I'm
doing
good.
good. I'm doing good. Sorry for the delay over here. How are you feeling today?
That's okay. How are you? Good. I'm
Good.
doing good.
Doing good.
So I wanted to tell you before we start our interview, to thank you for being very reachable and for me to reach out to you to have the opportunity to do an interview with you.
I'm honored. Yeah, thank you so much for thinking of me for your program.
So could you tell me where you're from?
So I'm from, where am I from? If I tell anyone, they don't know. Well, it's called Vauxhall, PA. It's a small town here in Pennsylvania, about like an hour and a half northwest of the city, and there's nothing there. So there's really not much to talk about. Just like cornfields, some horses, and I think there's a gas station.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So, so where can people, so tell me, where can people find you at? Where can they find you at on social media? Like all your social media platforms that they can find you at.
Yeah. I'm primarily on Instagram here. I believe that's where you found me. So
Mm-hmm.
at the Fashion Admin. For
Mm-hmm.
a while, I was hosting networking events through like a blog and networking event kind of portal called Philly Gents. And you can also find me on Envision Photography. That's my photography page. And
Okay, so Envision Photography, you can find that page on Instagram. You can find you at um the Fashion Admin on Instagram.
yeah,
Okay. Awesome, awesome. And how did you come up with the name the Fashion Admin? I mean, I know like I see you model and you take very great pictures. You have very good work. But how did you come up with that name? Is it just self-explanatory or?
that's a good question. It was like a nickname at work and in the office. I work in finance and in
Okay.
operations, or I was in operations previously, and that's where the
Hmm.
nickname came about. We had several administrators in the department who we would go to for answers for all things operational. But
Mm.
because of my sense of style, people often would reach out to me about fashion questions. So I got the nickname the Fashion Admin. I figured, um, why not turn it into an Instagram thing?
Great, great. How long have you had your Instagram?
I believe I started it back in, I want to say 2014, and didn't really know what I was doing in the beginning. A lot of iPhone photos. Actually, I might have even been on a Samsung um, back then. And yeah, I can't believe what it's turned into now. I don't think I would have seen this 6 or 7 years ago.
No. Awesome, awesome. When did you start having love for like for photography? When did you start like taking pictures and loving to do photography?
That's a great question too. Like I used to be very camera shy. Um,
Hmm.
a long time ago, very camera shy. This would be a very difficult process. A couple years ago, even. But I definitely challenged myself getting in front of the camera, and I ended up starting to enjoy it. And I also have some friends who I know were looking to take some similar steps. I think kind of going through that, knowing what it's like to be in front of the camera, I can empathize with people who have the guts to to do that. So, and I also have learned a lot in the process of my Instagram. So I thought I would give it a try. I would try taking some photos, and I ended up loving it.
Yeah, do you work with photographers in order to like take your pictures because you also model?
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
I work with a photographer. His page is Lumen Photography, and he's a high
Hmm.
school friend of mine. He's been into photography since, I'm going to say, senior year, and we just stayed in touch over the years. And now he's my go-to guy. He has so many brilliant ideas that I'm fortunate enough to soak some of his ideas and concepts, like pick that up as we work together.
Great, great. So have you taken pictures or are you also a videographer?
I'm
You do
not a
video?
videographer. I'm definitely
Okay.
intimidated with that process, but I'm definitely
Okay.
willing to learn. Maybe that's like the next frontier.
Yeah. And how long have you been a photographer?
I believe about I started back in August of last year.
Wow,
Not
that's
too long.
great.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I really, really, really enjoyed the photos. So, do you have any upcoming events? Are you going to speak at any events or are you having any events, whether they're virtually or if they're in person? Because, you know.
That's something I'm looking into later on in the year. I'm having a very small meetup this coming weekend with a few bloggers in the area and a few from out of town. I'm very excited about that. It'll be my first time coordinating an event since, well, before COVID, which feels like ancient history. Um,
Yeah.
so I'm going to dabble with that, and hopefully from there, I'll be looking at networking events in the fall or blogger focused events like coaching or
Yeah.
similar. similar concepts.
Yeah. So due to the impact of COVID-19 and what it did to like everything live, also the lives that were lost and everything like that, where do you see like the future of like live events and like just life getting back to normal and you doing what you love? And it involves a lot of like community, people, traveling and all that stuff.
Yeah, there's definitely an aversion for a lot of us to fully dive back into those settings. I still kind of cringe when I see people indoors near me without masks on. I'm
Yeah.
sure you can. Yeah, you can kind of like. I'm sure I'm not the only one. Who feels that way.
Yeah.
So
Definitely.
yeah, definitely. I think it's gonna, especially when you think about meeting strangers who you don't know,
Yes.
your friends is
Yes.
definitely a different vibe. You can kind of vouch for your friends, and
Hmm.
I know in the beginning, even for me, back last like a year ago, I was still a little hesitant to be around my friends indoors, but um, at this point, I think that it's going to take some time for everybody to feel more comfortable being in those settings, and that's why I'm thinking maybe towards the end of the year, if not in the next year, so we'll have more time to get back into the office. If they can feel comfortable in the office place, or going to the mall more often, then perhaps it might be time to make new friends in enclosed space.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. I feel like it won't really be back to where like we as people might be, you know, a lot comfortable until I'm looking at like what's going to happen during this summer, what's the
Yeah,
outcome this fall, and maybe like see where we'll be at next summer.
yeah, I agree. I think there's going to be a lot of waiting and seeing, slow baby steps back into the normal life.
Now, do you reside in Philadelphia or do you reside somewhere else?
Yeah, I reside I'm here in downtown Philly, a few blocks away from City Hall, so right in the middle of
Great.
the action.
Yeah, yeah. Awesome.
Yeah. Uh,
Is there, oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
oh yeah, no, go ahead.
Was there something else you wanted to add?
Um, no, I'm sorry, I don't think it was.
No, it's okay. That's okay. Sometimes I tend to, like move on maybe a little fast. If you wanted to add anything, that was fine. Do you do you have or would you like, if you had the chance, who would you like to collaborate with as far as modeling or being a photographer or just collaborating with someone for a project? Is there anyone that you have in mind?
It would definitely be an honor to ever collaborate with. Trying to think of his name. Hunter Vogt, I think his name is. He's a guy. He's a blogger out here in Philly. I definitely admire his style. Um, he's one of the bigger bloggers in like the menswear game. And Brian Chan, who used to live in Philly, but he moved out to San Francisco. He left us back here in the dust. Very very talented menswear, yeah, bloggers.
Awesome. Awesome. So, what is some advice that you would okay, no, yeah, what is some of the advice you would give someone who is a first time a photographer or model?
I would say persistence is a big one. You're going to have a lot of hurdles in the beginning. Um, there's a very, very long learning curve, and there were many times where I wanted to give up on blogging. There were many times I wanted to give up on photography. Even after seeing myself become successful blogging, yeah, I think I've seen a lot of my friends go through this too. They go through these waves of doubt and feeling like they should give up. My girlfriend, who I met through Instagram, she is she started her blog last year, and I have to talk her off the ledge on the regular because sometimes you hit a wall. Your follower count may drop off a little bit, or you just can't get the shot that you're looking for. And just remember that each time you get into those difficult moments, that the reward at the end of that is going to be, it'll be, it'll be worth it. It'll feel so great, and you'll look back and kind of, you will laugh at yourself a little bit. You know, why was I spiraling for, you know, over that one single photo when overall, like, my portfolio looks like this?
Yeah. So that's great advice. I wanted to ask, what exactly, so what exactly is what exactly is being a blogger? I always want to know exactly what does that mean. I know you have like bloggers and vloggers and what exactly it would consider blogging.
Yeah, that's a very, very good question, and sometimes I struggle with that. Um, it's such an open-ended question. You can make it whatever you want it to be. You can
Oh, okay.
yeah, you can keep it surface level, and just focus on, the subject. Maybe if you're a fashion blogger, some
Mhm.
people focus mainly just on that fashion, on
Mhm.
the style that they're delivering to people. Other people, what I try to do with myself is tell a story, also throwing out, like fancy pictures and stuff. So um, you can tell your story. You can make it very personal. You
Mhm.
can you can build a community, or you can focus mainly on the product or the business that you're trying to promote. So
Mhm.
there's so many different ways that you can
Mhm.
share and connect with others. Um, so that was kind of a broad answer to a
Mhm.
broad question.
Okay.
Hope you liked it.
Well, no, you answered it. Yeah, I think you answered it well. You answered my question. So where did you get your fashion sense from? What is your style like? What do you consider your fashion like? Where did you get your fashion sense?
Yeah, fashion it's always been a way for me to express myself. And I used to be very introverted. Uh,
Mm.
and I think it helped me work through some anxiety, some mainly like social anxiety, helped me connect with people when maybe I was too shy to say hello, too shy to break the ice. And
Mhm.
it helped me explore myself and figure out what I like to do, and yeah, what kind of compliments me and makes me feel good about myself. I would say I describe my style as fairly reserved, very detail oriented and intentional, and casual, but also not casual.
Yeah. So if anyone ever needed a photographer, how would they get in touch with you?
Instagram is where I live, so that's definitely the best place to reach me. I'm usually on every day. Yeah, I'm on every day. I'm not gonna
Okay.
lie. So just slide in the DMs, and
Right.
yeah, we'll talk about an appointment, and hopefully can work something out.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. So currently, do you work with any organizations?
I've worked recently with Express on. I was in front of the camera, um, but I was able to style some of their clothing that they wanted to promote for the season. So that was pretty cool. That was a lot of fun.
And what kind of company is Express?
That's men and women's clothing. So like
Oh, okay.
yeah, casual, some like suiting, some formal stuff in there too. Yeah, yeah,
Great.
like H&M.
Great.
But yeah,
Great. So do you have any type of merchandise for sale?
I do not. No merchandise.
Okay.
Not yet, but that's something I'm looking into.
So hopefully, in some way, shape, or form, I'll work with you in the near future. Um,
That'd be awesome. That'd be an
I
honor.
hope so. I hope so, because I have not been out, well, we all haven't been out
Hmm.
in a while because of what was going on in the world. What was one of your favorite places to shoot some of your pictures or your photography?
There's so much amazing scenery that I think the city has to offer.
Yeah.
Every building looks like it's pieced together to the one next to it, and you
Mhm.
have like old architecture. You have like a beautiful mural here, and there's also beautiful parks. So I like to wander around and until I find some scenery that kind of catches my fancy.
Nice, nice. So when you so what I want to also ask about a photographer, so like when they look for like a model, what are some of the qualities that they look for or that a photographer would look for in a model, or is it just I'm not quite sure.
Yeah, in these digital times, they look at the aesthetic of your feed, and they also look at your personal style too. So if they
Hmm.
think that your style is a good match for what they're trying to deliver and advertise, and
Hmm.
they think that you could put together a pretty clean, colorful photo,
Hmm.
I think like that's something they'll be looking for. Yeah, I have many friends who have um, several hundred to maybe just a few thousand followers who can make some decent money just delivering that content at that level.
Hmm.
You don't need to have like a million followers to make an income. You just need to
Mm,
be very intentional and deliberate with how you are putting your content together, and yeah, just have an eye for fashion, I would say.
nice. Is there a favorite city, or is there a favorite city that you have that you like to visit that you've been to or that you want to go to that you want to shoot at? Is there like a future city or future place would you like to shoot at?
Yes, I was planning on going to Paris last year before the pandemic hit. It
Hmm.
was going to be like a birthday trip, and I was very excited to go and shoot some content. Obviously, you get the cliche Eiffel Tower picture, and
Hmm.
maybe some beautiful courtyards in the background. But sadly, COVID said no.
Yeah.
So that's yeah. In the future, that would be a place I would love to shoot some content.
And tell me, what do you like to do when you're off, like when you're done doing your job or doing photography or modeling or anything like that? What do you like to do?
I love to travel.
Like,
My favorite cities are New York and New Orleans. And
uh,
aside from that, I love restaurants. And on the weekends, I'm always out brunching. Uh,
uh,
Friends can attest to that. They're always commenting on my stories. It's like, obviously, it's Saturday. You're out getting coffee somewhere. Um,
yeah.
I'm a big foodie. So,
But that's what I'm saying, foodie. And I really like that. I like really, I like, I look at a lot of like traveling and food shows, and I know like probably like when the pandemic stops, like I was like, I could be like a foodie. I could see myself doing that a lot and
yeah,
exploring
that's
because you can
awesome.
explore a lot of places with that, with eating.
Do you have any recommendations for restaurants out here in Philly?
Really, do I have any recommendations? Lately I have been having like, I've been home cooking a lot of stuff. Like I just been doing a lot of home cooking. But if I do to hear of anything or see anything, I'll definitely I'll definitely let you know. So this is the part this is the part in the interview when I normally ask my guests if they have any questions for me. If they do, that's fine. If they don't, that's fine.
What inspired you to start your spotlight sessions? And
What
I'll let you answer that before I answer my follow
okay,
up.
sure. So, I was going to have another well first I always like to start and say that I graduated from Community College of Philadelphia with a music performance degree. And I was accepted in three colleges. I decided to go to Temple University, and I only stayed there for about 2.5 semesters before trying to or going to pursue my vocal performance career because I'm a vocalist. In the process of doing that, I was turned down from a record deal that I was promised after about 11 months of working on music. After having to deal with that, fast forward, that's like 2019. So fast forward to 2020. I was going to be working a new job, like an office job in downtown Philadelphia, and the pandemic hit. And after that, everything that everyone was doing was history, was history. And then I had to go through a few family hardships. A few loved ones had passed away. And in 2021, I kept seeing all these great restaurant owners, photographers, comedians, singers, dancers, just everything. And I was like, why is no one interviewing these people? Why is no one interviewing these people? I see a bunch of other interviews going on. So I said, why not I open up or share my social media platform with other people that do independent work, great work, some mainstream, a lot of independent work. I said, why not just shine a light on this? This is like great stuff is happening and no one's reporting on it. And I felt like a lot of things that I've seen in the city, sometimes it doesn't get enough funding and it doesn't get enough, publicity. So that's actually what made me start.
That's awesome. You found your calling. Some doors closed, but eventually this one opened, and now you're here. That's awesome.
Yeah, yeah.
How do you like forge connections with your guests? Are they a lot, some of them like longtime friends, or yeah, how do you continue to find new guests?
How do I continue to find this? Um, so I think like as being a musician, you have like a lot of entrepreneurship and salesperson spirit in you. If not, then you're going to have a really hard way. So a lot of times I'm able to it's not hard for me to like approach people. And to answer your question, I'm trying to make sure I'm answering your question. To answer your question, a lot of the people were complete strangers. Only a few were people that I knew previously, but most of my guests are people that I've never met before. And I'm just like, wow, look at like what the internet is doing. It's making a place where you can meet people, where you can talk to them, where you can share your stories. And it's just like, what happened if we didn't have social media? So a lot of people I have not met before. I hope to meet them. I hope to meet you. I hope to meet everyone that I did an interview with, hopefully when everything opens back up. But yeah, it has a lot with the process, but it's been pretty enjoyable.
That's really good to hear. I don't even want to think about what life would be like without social media.
Right? It's like
Yeah,
life without Uber, right?
uh, but it is so wonderful how and surprising at the same time at how approachable a lot of people are on social media. I know I still have some trouble initiating conversation
Hmm.
sometimes, but it's been very reassuring, like seeing how receptive people are on here,
Hmm.
just how eager people are to learn about each other and even just have a conversation.
Hmm.
It's really nice. It really is. So that's awesome that you're able to continue to expand that network, and it's very admirable that you're able to just like go out there and just reach out.
Yeah, I had a lot of practice. I had a lot of practice and a lot of doors slammed. But that's a part of being resilient,
Yeah,
part of being resilient. So I wanted before I wrap up the interview, I wanted to where or ask you again where people can find you at and where they can take a look at all the great photos you take. There are some really, really, really good photos. I really enjoyed them.
thank you. I'm blushing. Yeah, the photos. I need to be one thing. I need to be more of is consistent. I need to share more of those photos, not just on my stories, but to post them on my Envision
Mm.
Photography Instagram page. That's where you can find a fair sample of them. But yeah, I need to hold myself accountable. My girlfriend keeps telling me like, "Why don't you post those photos?" I'm like, "You're right." She's always right. But I need to be a little more diligent with that. I need to treat it the same way that I treat my personal page. So yeah, a good amount of my work is on my Envision Photography page, and you can find other examples on my own Instagram page too. Sometimes I'll set up a tripod and coordinate the shot myself and get in front of the camera.
Okay, so the fashion admin is your personal page?
Um, I call it my personal page. It's
It's both.
my business page. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just
Yeah.
okay. Great,
Yeah.
great.
Yeah,
So
that
okay.
makes sense.
So I wanted to say to everyone, thank you for coming in and joining us on the Indie Spotlight Philly. Um, you will actually be able to watch this interview in its full length and entirety after the live on my YouTube page at the Indie Spotlight Philly. That's my guests. That's the people that want to watch later on. That's you. That's everyone. And I also have a podcast on Anchor.fm entitled The Indie Spotlight Philly, and also on Google Podcasts and Spotify. So I wanted to tell you, Steve, thank you so much for joining me. Thank everybody. I thank you all the viewers. Thank you all the viewers. And thanks for joining me. And I hope you have a wonderful evening.
Thanks so much for having me. Thank you everyone for tuning in. It's been an honor.
Thank, thank you. Enjoy your day.